What's going on, guys? Chuck here with another awesome Blu-ray purchase. What I got today is one that I have been wanting to check out and see for the longest time. I've known about it for years, and I never got around to seeing it, even though I knew I should. So that's bad on my part. Of course, talking about from 1971, Mario Bava's A Bay of, or the yeah, A Bay of Blood, aka Twitch of the Death Nerve, aka Bloodbath, aka Carnage, aka who knows, a couple other titles. Um, this is one of those films that it's known for all its different variations, or at least title wise, much like Living Dead at Manchester Morgue, which has so many different titles as well. Um, but yeah, this is one. It's a video nasty, but it's a highly influential. Uh, I don't want to say proto slasher. That's probably the right term, but it's definitely ahead of its time as far as the body count slasher kills. Like I said, 1971. This predates uh, Black Christmas. It predates Halloween. It predates Friday the 13th. And they'll tell Sean Cunningham. Oh gosh, Steve Miner. They'll tell you they never saw Bay of Blood when they did. Before doing Friday the 13th Part Two, they saw Bay of Blood. It's obvious. It's obvious. A lot of there's a lot of stuff that's lifted. Obviously, the one scene in particular, that's lifted. But there's like a few other things that seem to be you can kind of catch in Friday too. But it's it's a highly influential film all around. So yeah, Severin released this 5-disc edition, which includes 4K discs, Blu-ray, and a CD. And I was really stoked to get this and check it out. And I finally got to sit down and watch it. Now, I will say, it's just going to specs, if you will. It looked great, and it sounded great. I don't think compared to having never seen it in any other format at all. Just it's first time watch for me, and I really liked it. I mean, right from the jump, I enjoy the music, which I've heard the music before. The score, I'm assuming it's the main title score. I'm not sure what instrument. It almost sounds like harpsichordish, I guess. That's probably not what it is. But I like that the very haunting melody, which I just plays throughout the trailer, which I'm familiar with. So hearing it in the film proper was really cool. I mean, really, there's not a lot to the movie, if I'm being perfectly honest. That's not a bad thing. It's you don't. Although it can be a little convoluted. It's all about everybody wanting to own this bay. That and the things they'll do to own it, and everybody is backstabbing everybody else, except for 4 horny teenagers showed up just to get it on and got killed because they were in the way. And to add to the body count, I guess. I don't know. They are not. They have nothing to do with the plot. They just showed up, tried to have sex, got killed. Back to the plot. It's weird. But I mean, the kills are inventive for the time. The gore is good. There's some great scenery. But again, it's just none of the characters are likable because they're all just. I don't know. They're all cannon fodder. Let's just be honest. They're all cannon fodder. But I mean, as a story, it's whatever it lacks. But you're here, I think, more for the visuals and for you're here for the body count. And on that case, to me, it really delivers. And it's a fun watch in that regard. And it's got a great ending. I was thrown by the ending there. Not like surprised, but I think I kind of want to chuckle a bit because like that's hilarious, that it ended that way. But it was a fun movie, I will say. So I'm glad I finally got to check it out and add it to the collection and add it to my Video Nasty collection. Long overdue. So this was. It comes in a nice little slip box. Here's the back, and this is in there a little snug. Now, it's not a hard case. It is a very soft card. It's a thick cardboard. Along the lines of I think what they did for like Opera and Del Amore, or Cemetery Man. If accents are terrible. So it's not bad. I think it would have been better if maybe giving you a hard box, but it does the case. And of course, if you gave a hard box, it might have been even more expensive. So that's probably why they didn't. But here's your actual disc proper with the Bay of Blood title and all your special features. This does have reverse artwork, which features the bloodbath. It looks like was this like old video logo, which is kind of cool if you're looking for the video nasty kind of display artwork. It's kind of cool. And like I said, it is a 5-disc set, which is 2 4Ks, 2 Blu-rays, and a CD. Inside, we do have I'd say it's a lobby card, but it's not really a lobby card because it's the CD soundtrack listings, which is pretty cool. And there's a lot of titles, of course, they're all Italian, so I can't read any of those. And here we have 4K of the movie proper, and then we have a 4K of these 2 Italian versions. And then here we have the Blu-ray of the movie. Actually, excuse me, I skipped one. Here's the Blu-ray of the movie, of the theater US version, I guess, and then the Blu-ray of the 2 Italian versions, and then your CD. Now, looking at other reviews of this, specifically Pizzal, go check it out because he's doing a better review than I am. But he did mention that on the Blu-ray of the Italian versions, that there was a defect about 28 minutes in, I think, or so, where for him, the image skipped and stuck, and it happened on he did on another player, it happened. And I saw in the comments that there were a couple of people that had that same issue as well. So I checked out mine just to find out if this was like everything or not, but mine played fine. I checked both versions on the Blu-ray. I checked the Italian version on the 4K as well. Everything was fine. So I didn't have any of those issues that some people seem to be having. So I don't know if it's just a one bad batch or just random issues. But like I said, mine was fine. Everything played perfect. So no problems there. Now, as far as special features wise on here, there are a few new features, but there are a lot of archival features from what's listed here. So let's kind of go over these. As I mentioned, this one is the English version, and it has an audio commentary with Tim Lucas, author of Mario Baba, All the Colors of the Dark, with the U.S. trailer. Disc 2 is the Italian version with Italian trailers, or Italian trailer. And there's like 2 different Italian versions. I forget what the actual translated titles are. So, Disc 3 is the Blu-ray of the English version, which includes the audio commentary as mentioned before. Also, new interview with All About My Father, interview with assistant director Lamberto Bava. It Was Just a Children's Game, interview with actress Nicolette Elmi. Lens of Blood, interview with assistant camera operator Gianlorenzo Battaglia. Man, these Italian names are hard. I do apologize if I'm butchering anything. That Will Teach Him to Be Bad. Interview with Stephen Thrower, author of books on Jess Franco and Lucio Fulci. And again, Stephen Thrower is showing up again. I didn't get a chance to watch that. I'll have to go back and check that out because I do love listening to Stephen Thrower. He's grown on me. He doesn't always enjoy it, but his knowledge has really grown on me. Disc 4 Blu-ray. These are the 2 Italian versions. You have Hallmark of Horror, Carnage, Death Nerves, and Last House Part 2, a video essay by film writer Stephen R. Bissetta, this is interesting because this kind of talks about some of the different titles and that not just Bay of Blood had, but other films, how they release in grindhouse and drive-ins and re-release in different markets under different titles. That's pretty interesting little essay. The Art of Crime, archival featurette with Lamberto Bava, Dardano Sacchetti, Della Casa, Franco Vitali, Roy Baba, Alberto Pizzata, and Joe Dante. I got that one. Sitting on the Blood of the Bay, an archive interview with Lamberto Bava. 13 Ways to Die, archive interview with Dardano Sacchetti. Baba and the Grindhouse, Joe Dante on Mario Baba, which I did watch that one. I'll also mention these other ones are subtitled because most of them are in Italian, as they're interviewing Italian filmmakers, with the exception of Joe Dante. So a lot of this can be subtitled. So that was a little interesting. Again, talking about his experience with these movies and the drive-in and whatnot. And then a Severin Super Shock 2025 intro by Lamberto Bava, storyboard comparisons, radio spots, and a soundtrack CD. So a lot of features. I think it's over 4+ hours of special features on here on this great set from Severin. Excuse me, from Severin. Again, the 4K looked and sounded great. The Italian versions, I don't think they even mentioned that, how they pieced together those versions. They didn't have all the best elements, so it doesn't look, or they don't look as good as the US version, which I believe they may have got from Film Negative. I'm not sure, or a better source at least than they did the Italian versions. So it looks a lot more cleaner and more presentable than the Italian versions. And not that they're bad, but they can tell there's definitely a difference in presentation on how they look. So, but this is a great release. I'm fun, first time watch for me. I'm glad I picked this up because this is one on my bucket list for the longest time I needed to check out. I don't know what took me so long to get to it, but the impetus was there to pick up this set and do it, and I'm glad I did. So there it is from Severin, Bay of Blood 4K limited edition. Get it while you can. So that is it for this one. If you enjoyed this, click thumbs up, share, subscribe, leave me a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on Bay of Blood or Carnage, or Twitch the Death Nerve, or whatever title you saw it under. Or just say hi. I'll always take hi. So until next time, this is Chuck saying I will see you on the other side.